Ladies and gentlemen, I am Melvin Banks.
And this is Ito.
And we are the Carbonation Conversation, reviewing Archive 81, Episode 3.
Terror in the Aisles.
And before we get into that, as always, if you like the music that you're hearing in the background, the audio editing, as well as the music production, logos, Twitch streams, all that good stuff,
Mo
definitely
Beats
contact
89.
Mo Beats 89 in the description below, and he is on all platforms, and as we will actually be announcing a collaboration with him towards the middle to end of this review. And as we said during episode 2, we have a guest today.
Yes, we do.
One of my best friends and the owner of Quinncakes by George and Kai's Crumbs, a person that is joining the Carbonation Conversation stable to, maybe review a couple of things in the future. George,
hey,
what's up, man?
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me.
Welcome.
Yeah, definitely. I feel very excited. I've been very excited about this. And I come bringing gifts for you.
Yeah, exactly. He brought Revolution Brewery, based in Chicago. Hazy Pitch. I've never seen this beer before.
Yeah.
It does say refreshing and tropical with a striking finish. And George, I don't like fruity beers.
Only in
we're gonna
Chicago.
test these out.
It is, yeah. These are the ones that are brewed in Chicago using the Lake Michigan water.
Okay.
This was their special brew for the Chicago Fire.
All right.
The series.
The City Series. This actually came out, I believe, this year.
Oh, okay.
And
Good shit.
I gotta say, I love the can on this. The artwork.
Can is awesome, yeah.
The artwork is great. It's got
Almost
the
like
new
a
Chicago
punk themed beer.
It's got like the fist in the giant
We'll
C.
put a picture up on Facebook or something.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. So happy new beer to that. That's the first thing. And as always, happy new beer. Let's do that first. So you know me, I'll be going ahead and shit.
Yeah. You ready for that shot?
Okay. I do taste the fruitiness, I'm not gonna lie. But it's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
The fruitiness calms down the
bite.
The IPA.
Yes, yeah. That's one of the things, man. Like with these IPAs, I be seeing stuff like walk down death's door, like 18%. Like I don't want none of that. I just want to have a good beer.
They were talking earlier about Dragon's Milk.
I know.
It just sounds cool. Yeah, Dragon's Milk. I want to drink that. And
Yeah, you taste it. It's like super bitter.
Exactly. And before we talk about your business for a little bit, what you drinking over there?
So I'm sober for 5 years now. So I have a non-alcoholic brew by Athletic Brewing Co. out of Stratford. It's called Upside Dawn. I've never had it before. They market themselves as a craft brew, non-alcoholic craft brew. It's actually really good. It's pretty crisp.
Okay.
It's pretty refreshing. I could see myself enjoying a few of these, in the dead of summer, honestly.
Okay. Nice. All right, good. So, Jay, tell us how you started this, why you started this, all that good shit. You can make it as long as you want to, obviously. This is really our first time kind of interviewing the guests and reviewing at the same time.
Okay, sure.
So it may not be as smooth as like you see on the YouTube channels and on the TV, but tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, we started in 1985. No, I'm just like, whoa. No, I started Quinncakes 4 years ago. And I really did it just to kind of build something that I can pass down to my daughter and my kids. So, we did this. We started off with one cake order. And then it just kind of snowballed from there. And then I started realizing, like, I think we're onto something big here. So it was just build from there. And here, coming into this year, I took a dive and just put all the chips in. Took a bet on myself, and I said, I'm gonna quit my job and do this full time. And so far up to this point, we've had some pretty good success. We have a lot of good customer retention.
That's some good shit, man. Yeah, and I've obviously, and Ito has too. We've all tried their baked goods. They're lovely, but you just don't do baking.
No.
Tell us more.
So yeah, I mean, I graduated from culinary school and at the Art Institute, and it's not around anymore. But I graduated from there, and I wasn't actually in baking and pastry. I was in culinary, so I did savory, and I worked in kitchens, here and there. And then baking just kind of, like I said, it kind of just fell into my hands, and it's something that I knew enough about to know, like, okay, I know how to put a cake together. But we started realizing that, with the knowledge of savory, it's also like I can make flavors taste really good.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, listen to me here, man. I make like a 24 to 48 hour beef stew, and you bring that sourdough bread in, and I put that with that beef stew, man. The shit is just amazing.
Thank you.
Definitely, man, definitely.
Yeah, the sourdough is something that we just started getting into.
Mm-hmm.
I was gifted a starter, and I've been kind of raising it since. I know that sounds weird, but you do have to feed it and take care of it.
Yeah.
So it's like about maybe a year and a couple months matured, and I'm really getting some fantastic flavor out of it. I'm starting to get some traction on the bread too.
That's some good shit. And where can they reach you? I know you are restricted. I know we have different viewers out there and everywhere. So where can you actually be contacted, and what is your limit? I'm pretty sure your limit is Illinois, correct?
Yeah, Illinois, really the Chicagoland area. We do deliver, but I haven't had one that has been like super far away. Most deliveries, I'll just go ahead and make them anyway.
Okay.
But Facebook is probably the best place to reach me.
Okay.
It's at Quinncakes by George on Facebook and on Instagram. Honestly, I will check my Facebook messages a lot quicker than my Instagram one. So if you're listening and you have some inquiries about, cake celebrations or whatever, hit me up on Facebook, and I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as possible.
And that's as well as Kai's Crumbs as well. Is that separate, or can they order the bread through Quinncakes?
Yeah, they can order the bread. You guys can order the bread through the Quinncakes. It's not a separate entity. They're kind of together. It's just one big bakery.
Cool. Good shit. Yeah, sounds good, man. And yeah, we're gonna make a shout out to you and your business.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Congrats, man, and I'm looking for big things from Quinncakes and Kai Crumbs in the future.
You can do it.
Thank you.
Now, let's talk about Archive for a second. What made you interested in this series? Because obviously, me and Ito, we've just been reviewing the first 2 episodes, but what brought you to this? Because when me and Ito, when he first started, he's like, Melvin, I think you could like this. And I was like, okay.
You need to check this out.
Exactly.
Just watch the first episode.
Yeah.
And I learned from somebody at work, and when you told me you watched it, I was like, really? I was like, it excited me more.
And that's crazy, because there's not a lot of people watching and reviewing this show.
I've seen that too. I was looking for some other reviews, and I've seen just a handful.
Yeah.
And
like, I couldn't find a good one, truthfully, in the third one, so I basically rewatched the episode.
You can find a good one at the Carbonation Carbonation on YouTube.
You will find a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I found out that James Wan was the one who's going to be like the executive producer of this, and I'm just a big horror fan. I think you know that. Like, we've known each other for years. And there's actually been a point where all 3 of us live together. Yeah. If I had the remote, we watch something scary.
Whether documentaries or a show or a fucking movie, it don't really matter. Yeah, definitely.
So I like a lot of the work that James Wan has done up to this point with the whole Conjuring and Annabelle universe and whatnot. But
I haven't seen The Devil Made Me Do It. It's on HBO Max. I feel like I should be watching it, but every time I say, "Hey, Patty, you want to watch that?" No, I want to watch that.
She's not going to watch it with you.
Yeah, it was pretty good. There's actually a shock documentary about like the real story behind it. I think that doc is a lot more. It got me.
It's so funny that you mentioned that, because me, my sister, and Patty, we were watching the real story on Annabelle. It's like a 10-minute YouTube review and shit, and we got so creeped out, and then fucking Alexa came on. in the other room. Kayla was like, "Oh, I gotta go." And my sister's the most spiritual. You know what I'm saying? Like
You thought she would welcome it.
Exactly.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? She gonna be like, "Oh no, we got this." You know, Sam, go get the dirt. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? No, she's like, "Nah, brother, you gotta handle this by yourself." I was like, "Dang, bro, okay." But all right, so cool. That's interesting. Yeah, okay. So let's talk about.
Sure.
Let's talk about the beginning of. Well, I know you want to say so. Go ahead.
Go ahead. That was funny.
Let's talk about the beginning of it. How'd you guys like that trailer to as?
Yeah, it started with an interview about a movie called Satan's Carnival.
Satan's Carnival, yeah. And those vignettes I've noticed have starting to play like a really big role in like showing us where the episode is going to go.
Yeah, wasn't it like an Eper and Roper type of review, or were they just talking about the movie, or was they
I feel
reviewing
like the one
movie?
guy on the right was his movie, and the guy on the left was dogging the shit out of it. I think.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
One of the quotes on there I liked was, "You think there's no room for faith-based stories about a higher power." You know, that was just something down there. I was like, damn, that kind of caught me.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's those, it's those BA movies that people love. I mean, even Netflix have a couple of them. There's a Terrifier.
Yeah.
I honestly thought it was a trailer for the new Terrifier when I was like, I was like, nah, they got me the first time with Wellspring. Nah. But yeah, he's basically, they're just reviewing the movie. And basically, one of the things I like, Ida wrote down something very sophisticated. Here's what I wrote down. Clown disembowels priest with cotton candy machine.
Yeah.
Because he was like, "Do you really think this is an art?" And then he says that scene, and he's just like, "But everybody's talking about it."
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, and when it comes to scary movies and torture porn and things like that, I do have a limit. I will be like, I'm not watching that. I'm sorry. Like, I just can't watch a whole movie of just some fucked up ass shit happening all the goddamn time.
Yeah, I don't mind. I love me some Saw.
I
love that
I love
series.
me some Saw. Hostel.
But when you were like, "Hey Melvin, you want to watch Hill Has Eyes?" I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Oh my
Instant regret.
god." Hey Melvin, you want to go to the movies to see The Descent? Okay.
Descent wasn't that bad.
Yeah, that was actually a great horror
Come
movie.
on.
So yeah, you're absolutely
Let's say let's go watch Devil's Rejects or something.
Yeah, man.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah. So after the review, we get Melanie's mother in a church, and we see her actually giving her away. Nobody's in the church.
Right.
Yeah, we actually see some regret, on
But
her
yeah.
face. And it doesn't even seem like, I don't want to guess the age range, but it doesn't look like she's fucking super young. It looks like she's a grown-ass woman, I'm just saying. But, you did the right thing.
Right.
You gave the baby away in the church, left the baby a ring, and then we find out Melody's actually being interviewed by Dan's dad.
Right.
Which I totally don't know his name. But what she's describing is kind of, in her point of view, the worst 10 years of her life.
Yeah.
She was in St. Joseph.
Always getting in trouble.
Yep, and basically there was a scene where she's, I'm assuming, in detention, and she's, at first she's writing nicely, and then she does the whole
Yeah,
reading
like
shit.
she kind of just like went into some trance and just started scribbling.
And so basically what we find out is she don't like churches. She don't like Catholicism. She is not that type of person just because what some of the things that she's experienced.
Yes.
And myself being in a Catholic church, school, I get it. You know what I mean? I definitely get it. How did you feel about the scene, Jay?
Well, I think that in that scene where she's like doing the ring, the scribbling, and she tells the nun there's something in there.
Yes.
And going back to like the quote that Ito had said about the faith-based
stories about a higher power.
Yeah, like when the nurse. Oh, sorry. When the nun hears that, when she says, there's something in there. That look on her face, like, nope, no room for that.
Right.
No room for that here. Not in this church.
You can talk about heaven, in the penis pictures in the bathroom. If you've ever seen Religion, it's just a little creepy. But it's so weird that they totally shut that shit down compared to the father in this episode,
right,
who actually wanted to do something about, like, you would think you're in a fucking church school. They got a church in the school. Like, help me. Like,
nah.
nope. And yeah, and so she's being interviewed again by Dan's dad, and she's just basically asking him honestly, because he's asking her to describe it. She's describing just what George said, and she's just like, "Can you fucking fix me?" You know what I'm saying? Like, can you help me? He's like,
She said that the vision stopped when she got adopted by her foster mom, and basically said she just died about a year and a half ago, and that's when they started coming back.
Yep. And I do like what Dan's dad does say. I am getting his name as soon as I can, so I can stop saying Dan's dad. But what he does say is, I think we can work this together. You know what I'm saying? So instead of him saying like, I can fix you, yeah, you know what I'm saying, I got you. He's saying like, I think we can do something. And then what he does, he hears the knock on the door, and I'm assuming, they must, about to tell him the session's over and everything. And then up comes Cleo, which is a golden retriever, I think, or at least looks like a golden retriever. And I'm assuming it seems like he's doing this on purpose. Like just for like therapy, kind of dog therapy type of shit.
His name is Stephen Turner, by the way.
Stephen Turner. Thank you, I appreciate that. I'm literally like this on the damn laptop, but yeah. And they actually have a rapport, so I'm just like, damn. How did this shit fuck up to the point where when he was leaving her message, she was just like, Annabelle, why did you give him my number? Like, I don't want to speak to him. But
that's also the same time, like, we start noticing that that's where the relationship between Melody and Cleo really come in, because Dan's got that picture and he's like, that's my dog.
Yeah.
And then once that happened, you're like, okay, that's how that relationship came together.
And then and the way this is presented, this entire scene, what we find out is Dan is actually listening to the tape.
The session tape.
Yes, the session tape. So I thought that was a really cool transition. And basically, he ends up talking to Mark. Yeah. And basically, they're having a back and forth because Mark is not necessarily back and forth. They're having a conversation because Mark is on his way to actually meet Melanie in real life.
Exactly.
And basically, he does tell him a few things. He does. Go ahead.
He basically took the
Happy
tune.
New Year. Sorry.
Happy New Year. He took the tune that Dan gave him, that weird tune, and took it to some musician that he knows. And she said she's never heard anything like that.
Yeah. Not only that, he says he did some research, and he said Article 60 in the NYU, the paper that Virgil showed Dan, I think was it the last episode? It was in episode 1 when he broke into the church. It was episode 2, right? So the letter that was from the New York University, basically saying that they were about to, kick Dan's father, Stephen, out. Basically, the rule that they proposed that he violated was basically you can't publish anything that makes us look bad type shit. So that is very interesting. It's like, what was he trying to publish? Yeah. Now I'm interested in that. So it doesn't seem like Steven is a bad guy, because at first we're led to believe like this motherfucker.
What's over, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
and now we're getting all this new information. Like, no, they were preventing him from maybe talking to the media about some shit hidden in NYC. So that was really interesting. Like you said about the music person, and I remember I couldn't think of the word last episode that he wanted to look up. It was called Kalego. Kalego. And basically, he can't really find anything about that shit either.
Because apparently that's what the statue is called.
Yes. And so Dan is in his bathroom, and he talks to Mark, and he's like, yeah, I'm in the bathroom because it seems like that's the only place I get privacy.
He took the whole damn bathroom apart.
Yeah. And I was just like, really? I was like, bro, like, what are you doing? All of a sudden, you super secret investigate? Because he's like, I couldn't find any cameras. But then he said, I found the transponder or something like that in a wall, and then I hacked into it.
With a vampire tap.
I was like, bro, you.
It even works at. He was like, dude, we could have been Ocean 11 this shit the whole time.
I was like, God damn. Mom, I only had one question. I'm like, you got to be doing this in the bathroom, right? You didn't leave the bathroom and then find this anywhere else because they gonna see you, my dude. Like, what you doing? But I'm assuming this is the bathroom. So basically, now he is tapped in until what Virgil and his crew are looking at in the house. And looking at the notes here.
I think that's when we get introduced to the character Bobby.
Yes.
Yeah, who's like,
Because he's in the bathroom for a good amount of time, I guess, just going through the cameras.
yeah,
So-
and she knocks on the door. She's like, "Hey, the water's been out for a long time." And he's like, "Is that what?" Like,
Waiting for it to get hot.
yeah. She introduces herself, and he's like, she's like, "My name is Bobby." And he's like, "That's supposed to mean something?" Like,
Right.
okay, like, who
Exactly.
are you? But then, like, that was the figure that we've seen in the past episode.
Exactly.
That was just like walking around in the red jacket. And like, who is that?
Yeah, she was the one running the hood, and then when he had
Yeah, I
to dream
remember
about
I
the
asked you,
dad,
and
he
he
had
just
that
kind of
same
looked
red jacket
left
on.
and right like a Simpsons character. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, and it's so funny because when he comes to the door, she's like, Bobby. And I was like, his name is Dan. Is that Bobby? Why did you say Bobby for this? I find out that he basically says the same thing that you were saying. And so...
Then I guess they figured like he's doing something in there. So like, yeah, he put you in the wrong room. There's mold in the bathroom. And he's like, there's nothing wrong in the bathroom.
Yeah, he's
I'm
like,
good.
hey,
If
no
I
mold.
need you, I'll let
Because
you
she
know.
knows. You know,
Of course.
she definitely knows
She
that
knows
there's
correct.
no cameras in these rooms and he could probably be doing something extra. So I am assuming that he had to hack into the network in the bathroom. That gotta be right. And so he continues to do his thing. And in the midst of him doing his thing, all of a sudden, he is
He goes
transported
into a trance. Yeah.
into the community center in the Visser.
Yep.
And is introduced to Melanie. Now, at this point when I'm watching this, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I'm like, because obviously you see him looking at his laptop and then boom, he's there. So I'm just like, whoa, that transition was so
Did
fucking
you notice on
smooth.
the screen the little?
Yeah, there's like little orbs and it's a little shiny.
I did. Okay.
Pay attention.
Okay. All right. Oh,
That's how you know when they're like in this
like.
like altered, whether it be like an altered state or
Yeah.
you know some sort of maybe like astral projection or
Right.
whatever he's doing, like to communicate. Like those scenes that have like a shimmer to them, and there's like these orbs that are just kind of floating around.
Yeah, and basically, you know, they have a little bit of a conversation. You know, Melanie says she's new. He says he's new. And Melanie in these
Coming off like a little hoe sometimes.
I mean, but like a seventh heaventh hoe. You know what I'm saying? Like so nice. You know what I'm saying? Like
A full house hoe.
yeah. And that voice. I don't know, and I haven't looked up the actress and seen all what she's done, but that voice sounds so fucking familiar. It's like her voice is so specific, at least to me, I'm just saying in general as an actress, because I was just like, man, she sounds so familiar, like she's been in something else, just like that voice. Anyways, but yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
I think I would say that her voice, at least when she interacts with Dan's, it's really like
raspy.
it's super raspy. It's very like sincere almost, and it's very drawing. Because
Yeah.
you know, compared to the other times when she's like talking to Annabelle and when she's talking to Jess, it's a little different. But when she's talking to Dan, it does sound a little softer and it's very inviting.
It sounds like a ghost. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, how you doing? Hey, you know, I haven't seen you in a while. Come on, keep going.
Yeah.
You know, it seems so inviting. And, you know, basically, she even asked him, she's like, isn't this building really weird?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, hell yeah. So now I'm thinking, like, is where Dan is where the Visser was? But no, the Visser's in New York. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, did they move the Visser there? Like,
He's like, what's
I was just
going
like,
on?
what is going on? And he snaps out of it, and he is totally shocked. He's still sitting on the toilet with the laptop.
You gotta mention the Fanta.
Oh yeah, pineapple Fanta straight out of the can.
Yes.
Let's go get a drink or a coffee. Or how about we go across the street to the store and just drink a Fanta right out of the can?
Yes.
Out of the can.
Happy New Beer. I'm about to pour some shots. Continue, Nito.
Put me on the spot and shit.
I totally did.
No, getting back to the notes.
Yeah, you know, I don't understand like what was the main emphasis of the Fanta straight out of a can. You know,
right, yeah.
it didn't make sense to me,
well,
but
I think, I don't know, maybe I'm thinking way back in the day. This is 94.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm thinking way back. Oh, you always pour it in a cup and drink it out of a cup. You can't drink out of a can. You know, but at 94,
old school Fanta drinkers, let us know: is it better in a cup or
Right,
straight out of a
like,
can?
and then the Fanta can itself, I was like, holy shit, that's
It's so
actually-
retro. It looked cool.
Yeah, definitely. I was like, oh man, and it definitely comes back towards the end as I am pouring these shots here forgive our time. What do I do in my private reviews? Well, private reviews. Wow, sound naughty.
Solo reviews, right?
Solo reviews. I'd be like, Happy New Beer. Give me a moment. And basically, the next scene is really Annabelle and Melanie talking. They're about to go to church because Annabelle wants to see
meet Father Russo. Basically.
Yeah, Father Russo. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not the next scene. The next scene is Annabelle going to talk to Jess because Jess had her feelings hurt because she got into a fight.
Oh yeah.
You know, she goes in there and and she can relate because she does seem like something. She knows that the father is seeing Jess, but she doesn't know. But because she has this history of religion, she kind of thinks something weird is going on. And because she felt weird as a kid, she's trying to relate to Jess, who's angry as fuck.
And every now
on
and
this
then,
couch.
Jess is making these comments, and it's like, what is she talking about?
It seems a little out there, right?
Yeah, like, they. I just want to do it now. I just want to, want it inside me or some shit. It's like, what is she talking about?
Yeah.
And then when Melody questions her, she changes the subject.
It almost feels like some Children of the Corn or some, what's that horrible movie Nicolas Cage was in with the bees? Oh, the bees!
Oh, the Wicker Man.
The Wicker Man. Like one of those type of prophecies with the children and shit.
Well, horrible Cage movie. How dare you say a horrible Cage movie?
Hey. Just like, what was it? Just like Satan's Carnival, man. but
we're talking about it.
Exactly. But yeah, so, Melanie is really just trying to calm Jess down. She definitely feels an attachment. And Jess talks to Steven about, I'm sorry, not Jess. Melanie talks to Steven about Jess. And at least from Melanie's point of view, Jess has convinced her that her mom has approved of this whole meeting. And even Annabelle tells her, like, you need to stop picking up strays. Like, this ain't your responsibility. Annabelle is like the most reasonable person in this whole fucking
you need to stop being Sarah Connor and be more, or you need to be more Sarah Connor and less Mary Poppins.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
And
that's like the second or third time that Annabelle came through with like, don't do it. Let's go.
Right.
Let's get something's weird out of here, man.
But then Jess didn't want Melody to tell the mom or the priest about the fight.
Yes.
Because she didn't want that.
Mm-hmm. And so
she already probably knew what the fuck was going to happen.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And basically what happens is Jess meets Steven. They seem to hit it off real well.
Pretty cool how he's watching the tape, Dan, and when he talks about taking her to see Steven, he puts on one of the session tapes, the next session tape for that date.
The transition very smoothly. I love that. It's the little things, ladies and gentlemen. And Steven seems to hit it off with Jess. She's almost similarly describing the same shit that Melanie is describing. Being pulled, not understanding, just waking up and then poof, this is it. And I'm just like, man, it's interesting how there's not only a connection with everybody in this fucking building, which is the Visser, there's also a connection between Visser and Melanie. You know what I'm saying? So it's really well done, and the session is very small. It's like a 5 to 10 minute session, just like an introductory. And he says, like, hey, I think we can do something.
I would like to give her a neurological test, but we really need the mother's written consent.
Yeah. And as soon as he says that shit, I'm watching this like at 11:30, 12 at night. So I'm like, holy shit! Happy new shot.
Happy new shot's a new one, I guess.
Happy new beer to you as well.
Thank you.
Shout out to Jess.
Shout out to Jess.
And before we get to the pre-scene, I guess after this, if you want, we did just take some shots. Maybe we should talk about the pre-scenes. I was about to say, maybe we should take some of those cupcakes that Jay was describing.
No, we can get into that like Father Russo. There's something about that actor, like his character is just like, it's there, but it's so detached. There's something with his eyes that is like super drawing, and I'm like, he's hiding something.
It seems like,
and I can't tell if he's a good guy or a bad guy. He looks like he has an ulterior motive or something, and the way he speaks, and just like he hardly blinks. It looks like.
Yeah, and I feel like they gave him that whole look purposely because it's like
yeah.
even everything else, his face looked dry, his lips are dry. It was just like it was all a whole look. That was to trick you.
Yeah, that is very true. And we also find out one of the reasons why Melanie and Steven had an issue. Because after the mom comes in, snaps, and says, hey, you didn't have the right to take my daughter here, Steven kind of snaps on Melody. And he's basically like, this is the same thing that we were talking about last time. And she was just like, hey, I know you didn't approve of me going to look for my mom. And he said, I don't make approvals or disapprovals. I just don't want to get you to get hurt. You know what I'm saying? And then Melanie does say this, she does say something pretty impactful, I will say. She says something along the lines of, maybe my mom is too scared to find me because of what she's done in her eyes. And that could be true. You give up a child at a young age and you probably want to meet that child, but you're probably like, damn, this child's probably going to be like, why the fuck did you, do all that, type of thing. And so that's Melanie's like reasoning for continuing to find this Julia Bennett.
Right.
Next thing we know,
after this scene is when Dan hears something. And then he looking through the cameras and realized Bobby's in the crib.
Bobby's again.
And she is straight looking at the still picture of Melody.
Yeah.
I thought she was, for a split moment, I'm like, is this Julia Bennett? For a split moment, I was just like, is this Julia Bennett? She's staring at her pretty. Just like, you know what I'm saying? Just like she has so much
like
to say.
A still picture, because like when they had that scene, they kind of like over her shoulder, you could see that she was watching a video.
Yeah.
And she paused it.
She paused it when Dan came in.
Yeah.
And Dan goes, he's like, what are you doing here? And she was just like, I was checking the power strips. And he's just like, what are you, tech now? I thought you were the groundskeeper. Right. And he was just like, you want to do something for me? Open the chapel up. And then she just kind of gives him a look and just basically walks out.
So mysterious.
just so weird. And at this point,
Mark goes to see the present day Melody.
And he is unconvinced. I was unconvinced.
At first, you thought maybe, but then how she was talking, and even when he played the tune, it's a good melody.
Yeah,
like, okay, that's
pretty.
And then
even I right there, that's right there.
And then me thinking into it, I'm like, is that Annabelle? She just want to be fucking quiet. That's what I was like, is that Annabelle? Oh, that's interesting. But yeah, basically like Ito says, she hears the tune, it doesn't resonate with her. She's just like, it's a nice tune, and everybody else, they hear that, they be just like, nah, that's just something. We're on the next scene where Dan is with his rat, and he's telling him about how the dog ran away after the fire, and then something breaks. I forget something.
It was a tape
strip breaks.
Yeah,
and then he walks downstairs. I would hate to be in an area, in a house like this with so many fucking tunnels and areas.
Dark spots.
I know he's just going down. I'm thinking he's like, wait, I just make a mistake and make a...
All of a sudden he's in the stairwell of the Visser.
Yeah,
and you can tell because
he's right there.
It's so shimmery and the orbs again.
You see the little orbs again.
And Melody is just like, hey, I missed you. We were supposed to go to the store and have a Fanta.
Right.
And then she's just very sad and upset about her life.
Yeah, she's down on herself.
Yeah.
Dan basically comforts her. Like, you are a
because
good
he's
person.
been watching her. He's like, you just care about people. It's a feature, not a bug. And at first I was like, that's an interesting phrase. I didn't really think of nothing of it. And she was just like, and he's just like, yeah. I think I even wrote down what he said. He's just like, you care a lot. He was just like, she cares a lot and she's a good person. And they have a very sentimental moment. And I'm just like, are we falling in love with the ghost? Because I seem to be falling in love right now. and basically he wakes up and he's just like, oh shit.
Jumps up, he's still in front of the computer.
At this point, this is the second time. Is it the house or is it the tapes?
Or is it the people?
Or is it the shimmer? No, I don't know.
It's the shitting.
I was just
you need a shining? We can't say that yet.
Yeah, so that was interesting. So we will do this. We will take a short break because the next scene is actually when Melanie and Annabelle go to Father Russo. So Jay,
what's up?
Let's take a step back.
Okay.
Like Chris Hansen. Yeah, take a seat. Relax, sit down, relax. Tell us about these cupcakes that you made.
Oh, yeah.
While I go get them.
Sure. This is our promo box for St. Patty's Day. So we have a Guinness chocolate cupcake and with a Bailey's buttercream. And there's like a little pipette right there. There's an Irish whiskey caramel. So you should get a pretty good alcoholic flavor out of it. Like you should be able to taste every element. The Irish whiskey, I was gonna go with like Jameson, but I decided to go with Bushmills because I was looking for a specific flavor profile.
Okay.
And I feel like it worked out really well because that caramel is something else.
Nice.
it's strong, but it works really well. Like normally you wouldn't have. Like a caramel could either be too sweet or it could be too much on the alcoholic side. I think this right here, this recipe that I put together, everything just complements each other really well.
Oh, that's some good shit. As I was in the background getting one, I'm gonna cut it in half. Me, so you want to try something too, Jay? Obviously, I know you know your own creation. I'm pretty sure you tried it, but
yeah, we'll go ahead and take one. We'll walk through it.
Yeah, we'll cut it up a little bit. And did you say something was in the middle here?
So in the middle,
it's cut this shit.
Yeah, it's actually filled with that Bailey's buttercream. And like I said, that pipette, you have your choice. You could either like squeeze it into the cupcake or drizzle it on top or just shoot it like you would a shot.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Cut this here. The cupcake looks beautiful. We're going to definitely post a picture.
Thank you.
On Facebook. Definitely. I'm pretty sure I would call my wife, but I don't want to scream and then Mo be like,
I would say go ahead and drizzle some of that stuff all over.
Yeah, cool.
And we get to taste everything.
Yeah, definitely. I think I need some scissors. Do I need some
No, you should be able to just squeeze out of
I
it.
should. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Hey, there you go.
Holy shit!
yeah.
It is definitely-
He's not gonna make it that difficult.
That's awesome. It's literally like a tube of drizzle in here. It's like on the go.
That's pretty cool. Actually, I thought it was like an actual edible stick.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, it's just a little
Yeah, I thought it was
pipette.
some liquor. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean,
thought
you
was
can
like,
taste
holy
it.
shit,
It's pretty
you
much
getting some
liquor.
motherfucking shots in this motherfucker. Like, holy.
From here, it looked like I thought it was like a cookie or something.
Oh, okay,
That's why I
yeah.
thought like something edible like that.
Jay,
What's up?
this is amazing. By the way,
Thank
we
you.
call him Jay. That's really what he's known
Put
as.
more in mine.
No. My God.
Yeah, I mean, when I decided to, how we're gonna make my cakes different.
Yeah.
I mean, it's plastered all over my website. It's like my big thing is flavor forward, and really what that means is like I want to put our flavors at the forefront, and when you guys taste something, I want you to remember what it is that you're tasting.
Right.
Because cakes can look good, but not. Sometimes they don't taste that good. They're just like regular cakes. So what I wanted to do and to separate myself is like I really want to emphasize on flavors, and for my returning customers, I want them to come back, not because the cake looked good, but I want them to remember that it tasted fantastic, and that's why they're coming back.
Dude, that's like nostalgia. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that brought me back to, like,
I'll take the last piece.
back in the day when I'm a kid, birthdays, like, that is amazing.
Thank you.
That
Very,
really
very
brought me
favorable.
back.
It's delicious, man.
Man.
Like you said, you eat a lot of cakes and stuff that they look good, but they have no flavor to it.
Yeah, or it's just like your standard, vanilla cake. I mean, we take the extra step too. Like, if somebody orders something that's like, let's say a strawberry filling, yeah, we will use the real strawberries. Not try to knock the big box retailers.
Yeah.
But like they use like a strawberry gel. We'll use fresh whole strawberries, and I'll go take the extra step and I'll roast strawberries to get a fantastic flavor out of them.
Yeah, one thing I do like is you actually show us that you're doing these things, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah.
TikTok, right? You're on TikTok.
Yeah, we started a TikTok. We have a few videos up, and it shows up like I think I roasted a banana for a cake. Again, just trying to emphasize and make these flavors very intense, so that way the customer can be like, wow, that was strawberry for sure. Like there was nothing artificial about that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We even extract our own vanilla. It's like a 12-month process, but we make our own vanilla. So I am in control of how intense that vanilla is going to taste, because I think one of the most compliments I get is from our frostings. So I want to make sure that vanilla and that frosting is going to step forward, flavor forward again, and so that you taste a good quality vanilla. So
Exactly.
being able to
also
oversee
sell it
is
too.
good. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's all. I mean, it's not like you're keeping it a secret. Anybody can have this loveliness. And can that be shipped out of Illinois? I'm just asking.
Yeah, that could be shipped out of Illinois. That'll be a lot easier to get around. We have 2 varieties. We have like a standard or regular vanilla extract, and then we have one that is made with bourbon.
Yes.
And we actually extract it in a small bourbon barrel, so it's a very small batch. And what you get out of that, it's so complex. Like you take it, like if you were to take like a half a shot just to give it a taste, you'll get a nice spiciness from the bourbon. But like for 3 minutes straight, you're gonna just taste nothing but vanilla in your mouth, and it is so fantastic.
Nice.
Once it hits your mouth, it feels so good.
it gives you that Frank the Tank nostalgia. Yes.
Yeah, I'm surprised you remember where that line came from. Oh, that's so awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Quinncakes by George and Kai Crumbs.
Delicious.
He's not going away at all. I just wanted to at least repeat where you can find him on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Am I forgetting any other platforms?
We don't have a Twitter, so those are the 3 platforms I'm working off of right
definitely.
now.
And even if you don't stay in Illinois, watch him. Definitely take a look. Starting from the ground up, and when he makes it to your town or city, definitely be happy for him and salute him out. Like, I've been waiting 2 years for you to get here, and now I finally got some Quinncakes or Kai's Crumbs. You know?
We've had a lot of requests. Like, how do I get a cake over here? And we haven't. Honestly, I have not figured out how to ship a cake yet.
Yeah.
But breads we can definitely ship, and then the vanilla for sure. Those are a lot easier.
Definitely. That's awesome. Now, let's get back to the Archive 81, episode 3. I'm pointing at you to say the name.
Terror in the aisles.
Oh man, that was so hilarious.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
There you go.
All right, so Melanie and Annabelle is basically about to go visit Father Russo. But before they go visit, they're in the hall, in the hall where they're posting, signs, and they're not necessarily posting signs, but they're reading the signs they're posting. And Cassandra, who we spoke about, I think I said Mrs. I forget what I said episode 2. I think Mrs. Walls, Mrs. Wells, Mrs. Mills. But anyways, her first name is Cassandra. So in walks Cassandra.
But this happens after.
Oh, this happens after? Oh, okay, go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, we're at the part with Father Russo.
Okay, cool. Yeah, go.
I mean, she decides to go Father Russo and interview him, and Annabelle Shipman like, you hate church. What are you doing
like,
here?
why are we doing
She
this?
has a reason because she cares for Jess.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
And
I mean?
I think Annabelle actually says that too. She says, so we're going to a church, which you hate, to visit clergy, which you hate.
Yes.
Exactly.
And they go there, and actually Father Russo, he's spitting some good gems. He talks about the new movie, and he says, yeah, you should definitely, he's like, a lot of people, talking about this movie, whether or not you should go see it or not, whether or not it's against religion or not, or it's, Satanist or something. And that reminds me, like the fucking Luther TV show that's like #1 on Fox. Like, how is that #1 on Fox? I just wanted to say that.
Which one?
It's not, it's Lucifer. I said Luther.
I'm like Luther, right?
Yeah, because you were talking about Luther earlier, watching it and shit. But yeah, Lucifer. How is that the #1 show on Fox when it was released?
Apparently people loved
Fucking
it.
crazy. And I'm not saying it's not a good show, but I'm saying along the lines what Father Russo is saying. It's like, you got to see it for yourself. You have to judge.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, when the devil comes into your life, you have to figure out a way to handle it. How will you face it?
You have to make your decision.
Yeah. And I will say, like you said, there's something about Father Russo, just the way he looks, just the way he smiles.
It's like so disconnected, but at the same time, he's like right in your face.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when he's talking, it's like you kind of like want to like trust him. Like, okay, maybe he's good, but it's like you still can't give that 100%. You know.
Exactly.
I gotta give a shout out to that actor. I don't know who that actor is, but God, man, he was.
And he's like, hey, Melody, I remember you. You was the one with the recorder. She's like, hey, I want to know, speaking of recorder, I want to know if you could, interview me. And I found this a very interesting conversation. Not just because the father mentioned, hey, is anything been acting strange in the Vista? But what he talks about as far as the library. Melanie goes in there and she's just like, man, I see a lot of books in here. He's like, people are always seeking answers. Phenomenal response to that.
But I think his follow up to that too was like you got to know your enemies in order to give an answer.
Exactly.
And what's even more crazier, she says, what's behind this door? Like, why is this? He's like, the churches, all the churches have something sealed in their vaults. And this motherfucker says forbidden texts, dark secrets from all over the world, grimaces,
grimoires, yeah.
I don't even know what those are. And he said occult keys.
Yeah, I was like, he's just admitting this to them. The church is supposed to keep this secret.
Exactly.
So basically, that's like witchcraft and spells.
Yes.
Basically, yeah.
But what's so crazy to me is because I'm watching another series, by the way, check it out, The Outsider Review, shameless plug. It's a lot about that, like shit that we don't believe as people because we're just like science and you know what I'm saying? But the churches have these scriptures and these books locked up. Yeah. That blew my fucking mind. It's not like I didn't know that because we've seen the Da Vinci Code and shit.
I was about to say the same thing.
It's just still to just be reminded of your
No, it wasn't individuals. It was angels and demons.
You're right. But yeah, it just is amazing to me how churches be like, that shit's not real, but yet you have a whole collection of how Satan works.
I mean,
or witchcraft for dummies. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, is this real?
Yeah, and then
like, come on. In the Bible, they skip like 20 years of Jesus' life.
Oh my God,
because there's stuff they don't want you to know.
As Devon Dudley would say, testify. And
as Farouk would say, damn.
See, the thing is, like, I'm a horror movie guy, so like Exorcist is like top of my list.
I'm gonna pour one last shot.
And knowing that there are like only certain priests that can perform exorcisms, and they have this knowledge, they have the Roman rituals, and they have the occult text that Father Russo was talking about. But then he said, like, earlier, he was like, well, I took over for this priest. Like, now I'm starting to wonder, like, why did he take over? Did the church know that something was going on, that he needed to be there? Because only, like, a certain priest can, can't perform these things.
Unless the priest prior did something bad.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, priests get moved all the time.
Yeah.
But... with everything, the way this show is structured, it's like everybody plays a role.
Yeah.
It's like, it seems like there's no coincidences. Like, people just show up at the right time and they have the right story.
Speaking of showing up at the right time, well, not for a good reason, but it seems like when Father Russo is like, is everything okay? Is anything happening strange at the Vista? Then boom, Jess gets to see.
Yeah. So that's why I was like
screaming.
Yeah, you hear screaming. They both run out. Melanie wants to call a doctor. She's just like, should we call 911? And the father is like, no. Sorry. and when I first watched this, I always tell myself when I first initially watch something, I'm not going to fucking pause it. I'm not. Yeah. I'm just not going to do it because that's just going to slow the time down. You know what I'm saying? I watched the second round to take the notes. So the first round is just to go. And I swear I heard the father say something when he was whispering in her ear, when he was trying to get her out of her seizure. And I was just like, man, he sounded like he said some fucking release.
He was basically. It was like he was basically performing an exorcism right then and there.
And that's what he did say. Because in the second round, I definitely pushed pause to see the captions. and he basically said, "Satan, release her from your power." Yeah. So he believes that she is being possessed.
Something in her. Right.
Something is going on.
You guys ever see the show Evil?
You have put me onto that show. I have watched, I think, 5 episodes. It's too scary for Patty.
Are you serious?
I mean, I think it's more so too real.
I haven't watched the newer season.
Yeah.
I got to because I think that show is amazing.
Yeah, and it's great.
Check it out.
I would definitely check it out.
And I like how it is done. I really do like how the reality versus other is really, really done.
With the guy that plays Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I do hate the little demon bitch, the little squirmy demon
the white
bitch.
dude, with the glasses. Oh, yeah.
He's made for that role.
I'm sorry. You as a person like scary movies, you would love the show.
Okay, yeah, I'll check it out. Definitely.
It's nuts. It's nuts. The shit that happens. The girl seeing that fucking demon. I'm
That's why. That's why Patty was like.
I just remembered that. I can see why. I can see why she's out of this.
Because the dreams and the bedroom scenes. By all means, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
No, come on, go ahead. There we go. Yeah. That's made for. I was about to say made for TV, made for radio,
made for mics.
So,
and at this point, let's take these shots.
Okay. Shout out.
Yes. And at this point, now Melanie is fully convinced that Jess does need to see Stephen. And this is where, when you were like, oh, you went too far.
Yeah.
This is where she thinks she has the approval. And this is also where they're in the gross. I almost thought it was a 7-Eleven that they were in, because it kind of looks 7-Eleven-ish. But let's just say Aldi. Like, they were in a grocery store.
It's like it's a bodega, right? It's just like a corner store.
It looks like that, right?
Bodega,
yeah. And because
New York, right?
Yeah.
Melanie's looking at shit to give Jess because Jess is upset. She's like, she's fucking like
she's 12,
she's 12, not 7 or 6, right? You know. And then she's like, I just want to make her feel better.
Like,
and
then, the rat bunnies always made me feel. Rabbits made me feel
exactly.
better.
And then Annabelle is just like, you can't, you need to stop picking up these strays. You can't save the whole world, Craig.
And then she says, it's a feature, not a bug.
Bro.
Dan was like, what the fuck?
Okay.
Yeah.
There are some things, not only in movies and TV shows, that make me shiver.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, my eye leaks. I have no idea why. But yeah, my eyes get watery.
Like a...
No. Like, I have no idea why, but when she said that, I was like, then I was like, hold up. Can you pause that rewind? I don't usually rewind these episodes, but Dan, could you rewind this scene? And Dan was like, okay, Melvin, I got you. He rewinded that shit. Then it's not a feature, it's a bug. What does that mean? I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And then he again wakes up. Right? Does he wake up, guys? Does he wake up?
I don't think he does. He watches through it.
This is a scene in the store.
This is a scene, but yes, it is. But while he's watching it, oh yes, you're absolutely right. Sorry, that's actually the dream is when he actually starts talking to her through the TV. So yes, you're absolutely right. My bad. But yeah, and he's just like, what the fuck is going on?
But yeah, this is when she goes to take her little gift to Jess, and the TV's loud as fuck.
Yes.
Like, what the hell? She's knocking Jess. No one's answering. What the hell? Then the crazy bitch from next door, Cassandra, comes out. She's like, that damn TV driving me crazy. They do this every time the priest is here. She's, wait, the father's here? You know what I mean? She's like, what the fuck? We got to get in there.
And then, that scene by itself, like, it raised a lot of questions, because like, all right, we don't really trust his father Russo. And then she's, Tamara was saying, well, every time he comes in here, they're playing the TV super loud.
Exactly.
And I'm already thinking like,
molestation type
there's
shit,
something going on. Like,
what the fuck?
Yeah. Man, it's so fucked up because we've seen every twist, turn in movie and TV series. So you're just like, oh, everybody hate him. He's the right person. Because that's what I thought of. I'm like, okay, something's going on with Jess. But yeah, they bust into the room. Jess is basically getting exorcised. They stop it in the middle of an exorcism, which, for in all intents and purposes, whether or not you believe in exorcism or not, never stop a person in the middle of a fucking exorcism, bro. Like, even
apparently they're painful.
Definitely. Have you seen The Exorcist, which they gonna remake for some reason? I don't understand why they gonna remake it.
That's stupid. It's it's not gonna be the same.
Come on, man.
I mean, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, that's why I'm at too.
We're gonna review it.
Conversation.podbean.com. But no, seriously.
Even if it's just me and Jay. No,
Do you know certain people won't even, like, my wife's aunt won't even allow her kids. We were trying to have horror movie night. I was like, we're gonna play Extra. She's like, absolutely not. I was like, are you serious? She's like, no.
Yeah, some people.
I was like,
refuse.
okay.
That's fair enough.
Renee has never seen it, will not see it. He refuses to this day.
Yeah, I mean, and I get it though, because it's so old school. Like the beginning of the episodes, in episode 1 when he's watching like the black and white cult shit, it's fucking scary.
It's more scary than background shit that they say happened. People dying on set and stuff like that. That's
why
what's
I'm
freaky.
like, motherfuckers, why are you making another one? Like, did you not hear about that? Like, anyways, they go get what's his name? John Smith. Original. We have an extra key, and we're gonna go get John Smith. And then they bust in. They see Father Russo doing his thing. They stop him in the middle. He's pleading with them. Let him finish at least. And by this time, Samuel
barges in.
Enough.
You're done.
And I was just like, okay, big man of the building.
Right.
Big man of the building. And he basically pleads with Jess' mom. And he says, he makes it seem like he has asked her repeatedly, if you want me to pay for Jess's therapy.
Yeah, but she said, I will pay for it. I will take care of it. And the mom agrees.
And agrees. And at this point, I'm like, nah, we saw your ass, Samuel, last episode.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm just like, I'm thinking Melody is thinking the same thing, but in this whole environment, the chaos that's going on, I don't know if she's just like, thank God for Sam.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just like, nah, motherfucker, I remember you.
Yeah.
I remember.
And just like this, I don't know, maybe it was a camera angle. It was that super like power stance that he was taking up against the priest. You're just like, which one is the good guy here?
I know, because when he came and said enough, I felt like there was like an echo and shit.
Like he had some Marvel. And not only that, I also thought when he was telling Jess' mom this, she was just basically like, I know what you are. We know what you are.
Right.
I don't want nothing from you. But it didn't go like that at all. No. She was crying, just, puppy dog eyes. She don't want to deal with this shit. And like you say, exorcism, most people don't survive them.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So hell yeah, let the demon stay there in the corner. You know what I'm saying? Can I at least graduate with a bachelor's?
Melody then goes chases down Father Russo, confronts him like, what the hell is wrong with you? And basically
he set her ass straight.
Yeah, basically.
He went hard.
Yeah, he says, you're in a dark place and you need to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, he's like,
you're not going to find who you're looking for. You know what I mean? Like,
and if that ain't no warning, and the thing that kills me is through all of this, Melanie knows. She's seen the whole coast shit at the bottom. Even before that, the noises and the voices and all this extra shit and her passing out from the fucking music. Yeah. Like, don't tell me, you know what I'm saying? It's one thing when you have never experienced that type of extra shit and then you're just like, I don't believe it.
Right.
Totally respect you. Yeah. You ain't never experienced. But if you experienced it, don't look me in my face and tell me we both lying, bro. Like, that's all I'm saying. And you could see when the camera was backing away from her after the Father Russo treated her ass, she was kind of like, damn, maybe I made the wrong choice.
I think because she looked toward the room and she looked at like what basically just transpired in front of her eyes and it's like, damn, I can't trust Samuel either. Like, exactly. Like, she was like, damn, maybe I did do the wrong thing.
All that shit came back. Like, damn, he did do this. He was with this fucking motherfuckers chanting downstairs, fucking this bitch. And
and if you come downstairs to see a whole fucking group in the apartment chanting versus a father who's thinking he's exorcising a demon, I'm gonna go with the father. I'm just saying. And then and then we transition to Dan. He's in the chapel.
He goes to the chapel, right?
And at this point, he tells Mark, like you say, that Ocean's 11, like he all of a sudden is Mission Impossible.
Yeah, he said they could get to the basement through the chapel, but he needs
endless tunnels.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but he needs the code for for the door.
And he basically recorded 7 hours in the loop of him going through the tunnel so he can jack into the camera so that Virgil will never see. I'm like, motherfucker, Virgil watching you and listen to you right now.
Yep.
I'm just saying, that's how I feel. I don't know. Don't spoil it for me, too. I'm just saying. But yeah, and basically him and Mark talk about Melanie.
Yeah, Mark goes says that he didn't see it. He was flying her and tries to lie and stuff, and we're triggering like, why is he fucking lying? Well,
that got me too, because I was like, of the whole episode and of their relationship being so open and honest, I didn't understand like why Mark was like, nah, and she wasn't there.
The only thing I could think of is like he didn't want to disappoint Dan. Like Dan was so adamant about
but
it.
I will give him credit for saying and admitting in that same fucking conversation that he lied. I lied to you, man. I was like, good on you, Mark. Good on you. You know, he basically tells Dan that the person he met is not Melody. Now this is the part where I would say I didn't understand it a little bit, because I don't know if he had a separate conversation outside of us watching that confirmed she was not Melody, because he basically says like she's not Melody.
Basically, it did that kind of.
Okay, I mean, I was led to believe anyway. Yeah, but I'm just saying in
basically
general.
He confronted her about.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because I think he said too, like, she said, as long as I don't tell another soul.
Yeah.
Basically, what she did was she bought Melody's identity and basically took over. And Dan was like, well, you know, is that true? And he's like, dude, the only way you could do this is if somebody's dead.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's when, you know, we are led to believe that
she was injured in a car accident.
Yes. Yeah, she was injured, and that was why the scars, you know, she was trying during the interview. She was just like, I don't remember, you know, all this type of thing. And again, we talked about the song, she not remembering.
I think Mark kind of knew too, because when he was talking to her, like, he had this look on his face when she was like, well, I don't remember much, and he was looking like, with all the stuff like so heavy, like, how do you not remember much?
And then doesn't he ask her about Steven? He's like, do you remember anything about Steven? And then she goes, I'm sorry, I don't remember it. He's just like, oh, okay. So Mark is a smart dude, man. You know, he has that podcast, Paranormal Shit, and he is definitely a smart dude. I honestly do believe he's on Dan's side. When he tells Dan this, he's like, hey, dude, do you want me to go out and come and see you? Like, are you good? And Dan says he's fine. And after that, Dan is a little bit of shock. He goes back in. He rewatches the video of the same scene where they're in the bodega. Right. And this is
there's a little static.
My God. It's so good. Yeah. Like, it's so good. You know, she communicates with him through the fucking TV.
Screen. Yeah.
I think this is like a good, because like this one was an episode that was like a lot shorter than the others.
Yeah.
Right? And you know, sometimes when a series does that, it's like this is going to be the throwaway episode, or the episode that doesn't really have, you know, much to do with the storyline. But this episode right here, that last scene is the transition into Act 2, because this is when we find out like those dreams aren't dreams. Like, that's like real-time interaction.
Exactly. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. And she's talking to him through the screen, and I'm just like,
she has her Fanta.
Yeah, and I'm just like, how is she seeing him though? I'm like, is it him as a person?
To her as a person.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah, it seems like,
And I was just like, because I'm falling in love with you, Melody, in this show. I am. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm just like, man, the way she coming on to Dan, like, oh, you just so wholesome, Melody. Let's start a family.
Those good old wholesome hoes.
I know. and then basically, you know, she hears Annabelle outside starting some shit, because you know Annabelle, right? She's wild, and
straight
she
New York
goes out, and then I was like, okay, I was like, cool, because at first I was like, this is a WandaVision.
Right, I was like, what's going on here? Like, she leaves, it's just him basically looking at.
And I'm just like, okay, and I'm like, turn it off, Dad, turn it off.
And then in comes Cassandra's little crazy ass,
bro. And I would rate this particular scene movie theater horror level, because Cassandra ass walks in there, and we already know what's finna happen. Like, we know.
Yeah.
And I'm just prepared for. I'm like, okay, how they gonna do it? I'm ready, motherfuckers. I'm ready. And she just, she's looking at something. She just the turn,
Yeah.
the turn.
Just walks towards the screen.
And she goes, "Stay out." And then she fucking puts her hand through this screen, and I'm just like, it's like 12:45 at night again. I have to remind. I fucking jumped back.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's like one of them rings, like because the movie The Ring, motherfuckers they did that before in a while because it got played out. Now they bringing it back, so I'm like, oh.
And he jumps up, wakes up in bed.
Man. I mean, again, it's hard. I wish, we're going to have to start doing? We're going to have to start watching every episode by episode. So, because I really want to throw out theories here, but you motherfuckers already saw it. I'm just like, bro, what is
Why
going
would I know
on?
to tell you to watch it if I didn't watch it
I know,
already?
yes, you're absolutely right about that. But yeah, I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm feeling a connection for Melanie and Dan, but I know there's never going to be a relationship between them unless she's still alive. But even so, like, that don't mean fucking shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like
the things you don't know.
I think all you need to know is that this, like I said, this episode plays exactly into Act 2. Like all the information that you
This is
got
all
from
Act 1. Act 2 is next.
all the information that came to into play in this episode definitely play a larger role in the next few.
Yes.
And you're gonna be like, wow, this it's all just layers together. It adds up so perfectly well. So I mean, hats off to the producers, the writers, directors, because this show is just like layers upon layers of just like perfect timing, perfect storytelling. I personally enjoyed it, and I'm rewatching it just because I enjoyed it so much. But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man, and that really concludes that pretty much concludes the episode. Obviously, like I said, I don't want to go into details because you bitches already watched it. But I'm just like, what is going on? Like, how can a time machine going through time be in the same did you move the visor? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, did the visor move? Like, I don't get how he's able to communicate unless it's just through astral projection, which George did bring up earlier in this review. But it's so interesting how he's able to connect, and not only to connect, because one of the things Melanie said she really appreciated, but it seems like to a certain degree that Dan is leading her on. Like, you're a great person. You need to do what you need to do. And she's just like, okay, I'm going to fucking save Jess.
I was seeing that in her on. I thought he's comforting her.
I mean, not leading her on, but
falling for her while watching the tapes and shit.
But yeah. But we are going to take a quick break on this Carbonation Conversation review, because not only do I have to announce Mo's collaboration with another artist, we definitely need to do the raffle for the cupcakes. And the only reason I'm taking a break because I feel like that raffle needs to, you need to kind of get it together a little bit. Okay, obviously, you guys won't hear the break. It'll just be a break and maybe more play some fancy background music and then come back and then boom, we're here. But yes, we're going to take a brief break and then we're going to get started with I was about to say auction. Raffle. Tell me what I was about to say, auction. Raffle.
I'll tell you why, because 3 shots, that's why.
Yeah, basically, with the raffle. And then we will conclude this review. We'll be back. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are ready for the raffle. And I am going to say my name once again, ladies and gentlemen. I am Melvin Banks.
And this is Ito.
And we are the Carbonation Conversation, doing the Irish 8 Cupcakes raffle here right now, live not only on Facebook, but I guess it's not live on
but get it
on our review. But yeah, let's do this, Jay.
All right. So we have our contestants who shared, and posted on the post for the cupcakes, which I'm going to show you in 1 second here. So what you get is 8
Those
cupcakes,
cupcakes look so good.
and then a small mini cake there. And this is a new product that we are pushing with Quinncakes. Something perfect for smaller celebrations, like immediate family or, small friend gathering. This will be kind of like the perfect box. You get 8 cupcakes, you get a small mini cake itself, do your little happy birthday with. And then, everybody just gets a little bit of something. So celebration boxes, it's going to be a new thing with us. Definitely, if you're interested, let us know. And we can get you your celebration box.
Yeah, and definitely, hopefully, we can do this in the future with, future episodes or movie reviews or anything like that. This is just the start of the collaboration conversation.
Oh, yeah.
With
Look at that.
Ooh, by
good.
Jay. Hey, I just thought of that right now. All right. Happy New Beer, by the way. Happy New Beer.
And I'm thinking about what the next cupcakes would be for the next holiday.
We're working on some stuff for Easter.
All right, nice.
And I haven't really come up with something, but I have a few ideas that I want to run with. So
right.
once that happens, you guys will definitely see a post about it. And cool.
All right,
Figure something out,
cool.
sure.
So, yeah, let's do this.
All right.
Who's
So-
the lucky winner?
What I am going to do is
Thank you for the one person who subscribed to the raffle. We really appreciate it. We're just joking.
So
More
I'm going to
than one
hand
person.
you a hat, and here are the contestants in here. So let's
Okay.
toss that in that hat there.
All right.
And I'll actually go ahead and let you choose.
All right.
Go ahead and pick the winner.
Let me pick.
I got
Okay.
you. Yeah, we're going to
Let
see
me-
Ito's hand during the live. Just
All right.
one now.
Who is
Just
the lucky
one.
winner for
The
these
number one.
cakes?
Who is the number
The
one?
winner of the cakes are Lisette Anoba.
Oh, there you go. Congratulations, Lisette.
Congratulations, Lisette Anoba. We will definitely be tagging you on our Carbonation conversation page. I'm assuming you will also get tagged on the Quinncakes by George page. Thank you for listening. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. And definitely follow us if you have not already. And the only thing else that we have to do is say thank you to George.
Oh, thank
we
you.
really
Yes.
appreciate the collaboration, and you are welcome anytime.
Anytime, brother.
Thank you.
If you definitely want to finish this series up with us with the finale or with something in between the finale, you are definitely welcome.
Thank you,
We
thank you.
appreciate it.
I had a good time. It's a good time, good conversation, great show. I mean, the stars aligned.
Yeah, exactly. I will say another Happy New Beer to
Happy
that.
New Beer all.
Happy New Beer.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
All right, there you go.
Thank you. It is funny as George put stop to the video live because we're technically still on
Of course.
on this review.
Because I hope Melvin remember we're
I
still
know,
recording.
right? The only thing else I want to mention is the same thing I mentioned during the Adam Project. Just a collaboration by Mo Beats. He is coming out with a video game hip hop album collaboration. It is basically, this is how he has described it to me. The theme of the best tape is the video game sample sounds. It's like a nostalgic theme to the arcade days fused with hip hop elements. The title is called Smashing Buttons Number 2. Not number 2, but just 2. Best Tape Heroes, and it will release April 10th on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music. You can also find us at MoBeats89 and at, I'm looking at Ito because he repeated the name, but I'm gonna attempt to, Uranaka Bashi at Uranaka Bashi. So you can either find that out.
Spell it so people could know.
One or either two. Obviously, MoBeats89, you should be able to spell that yourself. But at Uranabishi, it is spelled Urankabashi. definitely hit them up on April 10th to experience the video game / hip hop beats.
Pretty sure because you can't say it too well, people won't know how to spell it.
Exactly.
To look it up. You know?
I appreciate that nudge. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Melvin Banks.
This is Ito with our special guest.
George. I'm George.
And we are
The Carbonation Conversation.
We love you. Peace.